Hey.
Hello. The
Hello,
petty.
hello. Shalom in the home.
Look at you, Annalicia. The lighting, the camera looks good. Everything
I'm
is.
under a bunk bed like a homeless person. Okay, let's not focus on me.
You know, I know sometimes there are camera issues, but I'm just saying this time your camera issue is your camera's looking good. I'm excited. You're here. Hmm. I was slightly saddened by the fact that Petty's intro was only like 5 seconds. What's going on, Themis? Was that you?
Yeah,
Yep.
I have also gotten used to that, and I look
I know I wasn't
actually
ready.
look forward to it. Like sometimes I want to be ostensibly late so that I can on the playback just see Petty's face for an obscene amount of time. I like it.
I think
Yeah.
y'all were getting upset because I was getting too much attention from the chat. They love me. And
We
y'all
love
were,
it. I want to.
that's
I
my
love it. I want to. I wish
that's
people
my
could put your
theory.
face there right now.
That's
I,
just my theory though. I don't know. Who do you
last time
guys
it was
think
so long. Huh?
who do you guys think is the chat's favorite? I think the chat should vote.
I really, we
Probably
don't need to do
K.
that.
No
Probably
way.
K.
We don't need to do that.
It's definitely you, Themis, for
No,
sure.
it's K.
Well,
No,
that goes without saying. It's going to be in the. Actually, who cares? Really, Petty? Look what you did.
I
I
think we
think
should
it's
start a fight.
probably
Do a
Themis
poll.
first, then Petty, and then me and Annalicia may be tied at the bottom,
Actually,
depending on the day. I don't
I
know.
think you're ranking yourself really low, K. I think the chat really likes you. I think you're ranking yourself low.
Sometimes, like, I go look at comments, I'm like, I'm being dragged for not having enough input on some of these topics. But the thing is, like, I just don't. Sometimes the topics, we go off into another topic that wasn't planned, and I'm just very confused. I don't keep up with a lot of certain.
Okay. Let me present a question to the panel. First, did anyone do anything exciting this week?
Exciting.
Going once.
Oh, no. Actually, didn't do. I worked all weekend. That's not cute.
Hmm. Well, since nobody did anything exciting,
Yeah.
I didn't either. Actually, yes, I did. You may notice my background is different. My sugar mama flew me out again to the Dominican Republic. This time, she gave me also an additional $100 to fly back. This is a especially special treat because I had to swim back last time. As you know, I did not have the funds. But this week I'm going to be able to get back, guys. That's really, really cool. Now, I don't know where I'm going to find a flight for $100, but it's out there somewhere. I believe in it. I manifest it. Mashallah, and all that good stuff.
We had a birthday this weekend. Reluctant heroine, happy belated. It's belated, right? Happy belated birthday.
A milestone. Happy belated birthday. That the milestones, those are the really big important ones that we remember. I hope you had a good birthday. Hello to everybody in the chat. Well, we've missed you guys. And I
What
just
does that
wanted to
mean?
say, listen, Kay, every dog has his day. Everyone here, we all get dragged for filth. Sometimes,
Yeah.
What is the
a lot of the times, it's necessary, and they're usually on point. Sometimes they're being gratuitous and they're being petty sometimes, but usually I would say this audience, they're really good with kind of like
Being fair.
keeping us grounded and leveled. Yeah, I like that
Yeah,
about
I'll
them.
say that.
what is a milestone birthday?
25, 21, I guess 18,
30.
What about
30 would
30.
be a milestone.
30?
When is middle aged?
25.
What? That's manosphere talk. You got to get that. You have to get it all out. Get it all out.
Do any of y'all knees pop when y'all stand up?
Okay.
It popped for
Okay,
me when
cool.
I do squats. When I went to the gym to do squats, and when I went down and got up, I heard like noises in my knees.
Okay, it was a trick question. It doesn't
Oh
matter if
man,
it's when you're
Themis.
standing up or sitting down or squatting or doing exercise. After your bones begin to pop, which I think is around 25. Don't know her, so not sure. That is when you're middle aged. Accept it because I think old people are like really sweet and cute. I think the older generation, the boomers, the I don't know what y'all are, Gen X or whoever, would y'all like to disclose? Well, it
I,
doesn't matter. If you weren't born in at least 2000, then I don't know what you're talking
Wait, no,
about.
no, 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 no. Older people should not be nice and sweet. I'm looking forward to the day when I get old and I can just be straight up disrespectful. Like I lived too long to like keep my tongue, so I just want to just be like as soon as I retire, I just want to like say what is on my mind all the time, consistently. That's what I want to do.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it'll be like I'm gonna age gracefully, but I'm also looking forward to like pretending I'm senile and just saying really disrespectful or just politically incorrect things about people, and being able to say like, no, she's losing her mind, she's senile. Hopefully, I mean, I'm kind of relying on the fact that they will have never seen my YouTube career, because then they'll know that this is just a baseline. So fingers crossed.
wait, Patty, what generation are you?
Gen Z or Gen millennial. I don't know.
He's a millennial. He's on the younger millennial.
Oh,
You're a wee
How
lad. You're just a
what
baby.
year is millennial? I'm
I'm
a
a
claim that baby. I would like to claim that. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Millennial is, what is that, like 2000 to or 1997 to, I don't
Like
know.
2001 to I have no clue. 2001 to 2015.
I think people who are millennials now are between 27 and like 42 or something like that.
I'm not a millennial. Never mind.
You're
That's
not
what
a millennial?
I think. I
I
could be
thought
wrong.
the young ones now. No, they're the new baby boomers.
I
Mm.
thought that you were, I'm not going to talk about age. I'm not going to talk about age.
Let me
Oh,
share the screen. I just looked it up.
what is it?
I thought he found my age. I'm 17 forever.
Why can't you zoom? Is that right?
Oh, 27 to 41. Okay. I'm definitely a millennial.
See how they get more and more progressive as they get down to Gen
I'm not on this. I'm not in this grouping, so I can't disclose
You're
my
not.
age or my demographic.
You're not in this group. What?
I don't know. I'm not
Thank
there,
you,
so it
Brown
doesn't matter how
Barbie.
old I am.
Thank you, Brown
So
Barbie.
so baby boomer isn't like I thought that was the BC era. No,
The what?
the BC era before Christ. No.
Might as
Okay.
well. And let me stop. Actually, since we're talking about people and age, let's jump right into Blac Chyna and her mom. Have you guys seen Blac Chyna finding God, being baptized, and all of that?
I've heard of it.
So,
Like changing her whole like look and everything. A
yeah,
lot of
well,
people
she's removing fillers in her face and her buttocks, I think. Um, any thoughts? Angela White, thank you. Someone said, I appreciate the correction.
Some people would say, I guess maybe some people characterize it as like she's rebranding. Honestly, I don't have any problems with it. I don't know why anybody would. I mean, we go through various stages in life, and if she's at a point in her life where she is rediscovering herself, or she wants to get back to a more authentic version of herself, or more pure, I mean, like, if she likes it, I love it. I don't know what the problem is. Her mom is the problem. Her mom is the reason there was a Blac Chyna in my
Well,
mind.
before we go to her mom, because I actually do want to talk about like jealousy, parent being jealous of their parent being jealous of their parent being jealous of their kids and things like that. But before we get to that, um, is it odd? Because on one hand, Christianity and religion and things like that shouldn't be used as a costume, but on the other, That's what it has historically been for a lot of people. Just do atrocious things and say, "Oh, I'm a Christian." So, like, no.
That's not Christian to you?
What?
That's very Christian to me.
Yeah,
That's
no,
What?
I
that's
feel
what
like.
I'm saying. Like, part of me being a Christian, I'm like, you shouldn't do this. How dare you if you're not? But I don't know if she is. It is not my place to judge. And also, this is what historically have been happening with religion. But does it matter then if it's like authentic?
Petty, I think
Why
you're
do you
muted.
think it's inauthentic?
Oh, did I say it was not authentic?
You just asked if it mattered, if it was.
Yeah, because I think it matters if it's authentic. Why does that matter in Blac Chyna's conversation?
I don't understand your question.
I think
Themis,
he's
I don't
asking,
understand.
like,
Maybe it
Themis,
comes
can you state the question again, Themis? I don't understand the question.
Does it matter if Blac Chyna's newfound religion is authentic?
Petty,
It
were you
matters
asking,
for
like,
does
why
it?
did that remind? Petty, were you asking Themis, like, what sparked him to ask that in a conversation about Blac Chyna?
That was definitely not the question that Theme was asked the first time. I was asking why the authenticity of her. Well, I thought you were
Wait,
questioning whether she was authentic or not. And
Kay,
yes, I
you're the
was.
middleman here.
I
Please tell me.
I didn't think that's what you were doing. I thought that since we were on the conversation of Christianity a little bit, with this whole Angela White situation, I think that you were just asking like as a separate question. But when Petty was asking you about it, I think he like maybe assumed that you thought she was not being authentic. But you didn't
Oh,
say that.
I don't judge. I don't judge
Yeah.
whether or not she's authentic. I'm trying to understand, should it matter? Because there seems to be a bigger conversation happening online about her authenticity. And my question is, does it and should it matter?
To the public?
Is
No,
Petty
I don't think.
speaking?
No, he's just not talking. He's talking and pausing.
Oh, sorry. I think it was.
So to the public, I don't know that it should matter to the public, to her and her relationship with God. Yeah, it probably should. I assume it would matter to God. I don't know him personally. Like I haven't met him yet, but I feel like he would be like, "Nah, you was lying."
No, but what does that mean for people in the public eye? When I ask, should it matter? Hopefully, it matters to her and God. But should people look up to people for any reason? How should we approach changes in people? Because I think a lot of women have been influenced to get Botox injection, just augmentation to themselves in an effort to be paid for it, to be chosen, to be praised within our culture. And one could argue that Blac Chyna was part of the movement that pushed this out. It's not just her fault, right? But the industry did this. So should that matter? Do people have responsibility of their own? Obviously, yes, agency. But if Angela White, if she's faking this, would that have a reverberating effect? I'm trying to ask a question without being too specific so that you guys can go wherever you want, but I can be more specific.
I know what you're asking. I'm just
Makes
waiting for
sense.
everybody to get an opportunity to speak, and then I was gonna.
Your question makes sense. I think that I don't think that it matters, especially in the public eye. Like, as long as it's not like a flip flopping thing. I think that if this is the image that she has, and she just keeps this image, and just like keeps working towards these new goals and this new, I guess, image or whatever that she wants to put out, I don't really think it matters. In terms of the public eye. Now, like Petty said, like to people that she's close with, or, her personal relationship with God, or like all these other types of relationships on her end, I think it would matter. But with random strangers, I don't think so. But a lot of people are saying like, this is just branding. She's just trying to, this is just a media thing. And I don't know, because I don't know the woman. Hopefully, she's doing what makes her happy, but I don't really think it matters. Like, do you think, Themis, are you thinking like maybe some people will start to follow along with her and
Yeah,
change their image?
I think there can be, on one hand, I don't think it matters. On the other, it's, will people think, I think Trisha Paytas does this ever so often with people with religion. But this is a costume, and that you can just put it on to change your image and take it off and kind of feel, because the truth is, like, what's that site where people go on and they show themselves that she was on? OnlyFans.
Okay.
Apparently it's going down, and like there's not a lot of investment in that kind of business. There's not a lot of work happening around there, and a lot of investment being made. And so one could argue that from a business perspective, this is a pivot. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I find it a bit odd, but I don't dislike it. And I'm kind of rooting for her, but I feel terrible rooting for her because, like, then it comes out and she was joking all along, and then I don't know. So
Does it seem like too much of a does it seem like too extreme of a change? Is that what makes you like skeptical about it?
Oh, I'm not skeptical. I'm just like, I hope this is real. Like, I'm hopeful, as opposed, like, I'm not skeptical because I don't honestly care, but I do kind of hope that this is real and that it's not just another kind of publicity stunt. Oh, Annalisa, sorry.
No, it's okay. Whenever I think about people, even people in the public eye, I kind of look at them in totality. I look at people as very sort of dynamic and complex beings. And I always consider, obviously, their livelihood, the business end of things. But I think I don't think that anyone should be beholden to something that they represented before in their past. Like, I'm not who I used to be when I was, not even last year. Like, we're constantly reevaluating, we're constantly changing, we're constantly evolving. So I never even look at things through the lens of, well, is she doing this because it's more advantageous? I just feel like the pivot in life is inevitable if you're a really like a fully formed human being. Pivoting is an inevitability in life. Like, you have to be able to pivot, to adjust, to adapt. And I mean, one would hope that you're pivoting in life to get to a place where you can be your best self and where you can contribute to society and the people around you in the most productive and constructive ways. So I mean, again, if she likes it, I love it. And I just don't think that she should be beholden to Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna is a part of who she is and who she was. I don't know what her next arc is going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I never really followed her, to be fair. I just look at people as people. I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care if you are, homeless. I just feel like people are going to people.
Follow-up question, Themis. If the outcome is good for herself and people that look up to her, does it matter if her intentions are authentic? No, it does. I think intent matters. I do also think actions matter. And I think in this case, if we're thinking from just like, I guess, a utilitarian perspective, it would be good that her actions result in positive outcomes. And one part of her like augmentation that she spoke about gave her trouble. And I know a lot of people go to Brazil, for example, and other countries to get certain kinds of implants. And she talks about how her body sometimes rejects these foreign substances in her body. And I think more awareness as it comes to, I'm very pro plastic surgery, by the way, but awareness around consequences about certain decisions being put in the forefront in the way that K. Michelle did. Also, I think a lot more of that should be allowed. I like that. So to answer your question, the action, I think, hopefully, will outweigh whatever intent she has. Now to the mom.
So
Why? Go ahead.
I think the intent matters because the idea of something coming to light later, I think would optically look bad and maybe reverse any positive outcomes that may have come from it. Outside of that, I'm going to use the utilitarian argument of it's a net good. But I also think this could be a different conversation because in my mind, I'm thinking about whether or not someone can have cosmetic surgery and love themselves. Does that make sense?
Uh, I don't know why you're having that conversation. I thought the answer was very easy.
Well, when I was thinking about the idea of her reversing or going back on what she's saying now and it's all a facade, one of the things that I think people will start to say is either people will say it was a lie or people will say, oh, she's having difficulty loving herself. I think that's something people always say when it comes to someone like, I think someone in the comments said K. Michelle, for example, and the surgery she does. People are like, why doesn't she love herself? She used to look so much better. If Blac Chyna reverts into something like that, I think she'll get a similar type of backlash. And I think, I mean, is that a fair question? Can you truly have self-love if you're getting cosmetic procedure like this?
Yes, I think you can very much love yourself.
Me too.
There are people who see their bodies as like a work in progress, right? And those people, I am friends with some of them. It can become really odd to witness, but I do believe you can love yourself. I it depends on how you define self,
Well,
right?
let
You
me
can love yourself without loving a particular part of you, right? Like I don't hate myself because I want to change my ear, the shape of my ear. That's a
let
random.
me let me qualify the question. I do think you can love yourself while getting cosmetic surgery. Skin grafts after being like blown up at war is a thing, for example. But I remember reading um, I remember reading something like it was an article that was like the end of the BBL, and it was talking about how BBLs are going out of style, and it spoke about a previous trend where it was more like having a slim waist and getting boob jobs, and then it moved into BBL, and now the BBL apparently isn't necessarily going somewhere, but just evolving into a different type of cosmetic surgery. So
Yeah.
while I do think you can love yourself while getting cosmetic surgery, can you, at least in the society as we live in it now,
Yeah.
where it feels like this is trending, can you
Yeah.
generally? No.
I think the question implies, or the question has something at its core that is fundamentally flawed from my perspective. And that is, if you change something about yourself, does that mean you love yourself? The yourself is a broader umbrella that has other elements within it. And that you don't like a particular element doesn't change the fact that you might like yourself more holistically.
And where do you draw the line? Like that could be, I mean, I think that's just a very,
The gym,
like it
like,
could be anything.
I'm going to get my friend's getting a BBL because her boyfriend says he likes a body like that. She also thinks even if they break up, she'll be able to attract more men with a body like that. That's not
even in
is this, mhm.
even in that scenario, you could love yourself, but love what your boyfriend wants more. That is toxic and not good. But that you're going to change yourself for someone else doesn't necessarily mean you hate yourself. It just means you're trying to conform to someone else's standard. Now, if you had more,
That's what the question. Forget the self-love part. Is it healthy to do something like this to conform to a standard?
Okay, that's
Everybody
what.
conforms, but don't we all conform to standards like every day when we walk out of the house with clothes on or whatever the case may be? I
I don't
don't
like
know
that framing.
what.
I don't like that framing.
I mean, the thing about it is because I can see there are people who want to change themselves because they don't feel good about themselves, they hate themselves. There are people like that, but I don't think that necessarily that because you're trying to change something about yourself that it means that you aren't happy with yourself. Like if someone wants to start living a healthier lifestyle, it doesn't mean they hate it themselves or they hate themselves now. They just want to start living a healthier lifestyle, or even if it's something that's just cosmetic, like Themis was saying, you can um want, I don't know, whatever thing changed on your face, for example, but it doesn't mean you hate it yourself. I just think that I think that there's a deeper conversation to be had about the how we're looking at what quote unquote yourself is. Because I mean, you could even hate something about your like your appearance and still not hate yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like y'all are defending conformity.
No, it's not. By the way, talks. Two things can be true. She can want to be healthy and look better with make under while still being smart. She's a smart woman. She's not going to throw away the Blac Chyna brand, but Angela has to grow. Yeah, I agree with this. By the way, there was a super chat that comes in. Annalicia is on mute, so while yeah, we'll get to the mom in a moment. While we're waiting for Annalicia, I got a bag and fixed my teeth. Love some me with gaps. Love me with gap clothes. Yeah. Um.
Where do you draw the line? Like even braces, a lot of times they aren't medically necessary. Are you, I mean, Petty, where would you draw
Okay,
that line?
y'all are. I think y'all are
Oh,
still arguing for self-love, and I feel like
wait, no.
we've moved to is it healthy?
Maybe I did think I deserve this because of how much I love myself. All right, let me stop. Go ahead. Healthy.
I'm now,
Um.
so we're past self-love because I do think you can love yourself while having cosmetic surgery.
All right.
Um, is it healthy in contemporary society? You're asking me where I draw the line. Um,
Wait,
depends.
wait. How do you define healthy?
I don't know. Please teach me. I'll have to come back to it.
No. The reason
Healthy.
I
Okay,
asked because
I'm trying to work with a maybe colloquial term, so I wouldn't define it.
uh
I wouldn't be able to define it for you now.
yeah. All right. So let's do it colloquially. Let's remove health because we don't know, right? Let's say um, healthy means it's good for you. Not healthy means it's bad for you. Can we
Yep.
do that definition?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see how it's not unhealthy, even with
I
that
mean,
definition. Because if I gain more, if it's good for me, if what I did is good for me, then it's no longer unhealthy.
so like
Even in
if I like told all the black women, I'm like, you should straighten your hair when you go to work because they might fire you or otherwise reprimand or discipline you if you wear your kinky coily hair out. That's healthy in your mind because oh, they'll
no, no,
be
no,
more
no, no.
likely to get promotion or
You're
it's like
gonna
what do you
put it
mean?
on a balance now, right? It's gonna hang in the balance. Is straightening your hair going to mess with your self-esteem and self-image ultimately, if that's not naturally how it is, right?
Mhm.
Versus is it not going to affect you in any meaningful way about your self image? Plus, you get this added benefit. Now, we can argue whether or not the society is wrong or right in imposing that kind of standard, but when it hangs in the balance, is it more beneficial or less beneficial when you engage in it? Not to say
What if
it's good, sorry.
it feels unhealthy to myself but yields good results?
Huh?
What if it feels unhealthy to me but yields good? What if straightening my hair does get me accolade in the workplace and I receive less discipline and I'm more positively received, but I feel bad about it?
Then you have to make the decision about what is more important to you. and you get to decide if that's good or bad for you. Is your self-esteem and self-image more important than the benefit that you receive socially? I don't think it's an easy question about, okay, because you bleach your skin, for example, that would be the prime example of this. Everyone assume this is self-hate, right? If that is the case and that's the one we use, even if you claim it's self-hate, it doesn't mean it's a net negative or net positive. We don't see bleaching like we see tanning because of the historical realities around race and white supremacy. But one could argue they yield the same cancerous result. So I don't know. It's going to depend on the person, but I think this is what you meant to ask. Whether or not getting plastic surgery is a sign of insecurity.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would have to
You
be
brought me all the way through this race to say I don't know at the finish line. I thought you were
No,
going to
because
give me
I
a.
wanted you to be more precise in the question you're asking, because we make judgments. Like, we make judgment, and this can be something that's not true. Like, you could be forced to do this because of modeling, and then you hate that you did it. It doesn't mean you were insecure ex ante about the thing that you change. So I don't like making blanket statements about people's mental space when they decide to engage in certain behaviors.
Okay. Okay.
And I still think it's just like one of those things where it's very case by case. Like, you know, you don't know unless you know specifically how the person feels about it and why they did a certain thing, because some people think wearing makeup means that you are insecure and you hate yourself. Some people think having straight hair when that's not your natural hair texture. Some people think that about hair dye. Some people think that about surgery, whatever the case may be. I just think that a lot of people think, or a lot of people find it easier to make these harsh judgments about things that are less accessible and that less people do. Like, less people are getting BBLs than putting on makeup. So it's easier to be like, yeah, you gotta be insecure if you get a BBL. But if you're wearing makeup, like,
If
where do
it
you,
feels
how
like
does
y'all are, it feels like y'all are purposefully avoiding generalizing. Why can't we?
No, yeah, well, because it's not right.
I'm
Insecurity.
purposely
If y'all ask me a question like, do you feel like a lot of most dark skinned women have insecurity about their skin color, whether due to how men in the community, white people, society in general treats them? I would say yes, I think so. I would make that generalization, just like my guess and my feelings, even without having to look to research. Y'all don't feel
No,
like.
okay, to be fair, you're coming from a very specific frame of reference. So am I. I know a ton of people who've done literally everything in the book, except I don't think I know people who have got butt augmentation. But yeah, and I don't see them as people who don't like themselves. I see them as people who, when we hit 16, a lot of them got a nose job and breast implants. Like, it's just a thing that people did. And I think a lot of people felt like they had to do it because it showed wealth. Everyone is getting lip injection. Well, they are insecure about their lips, so that's anyway. Insecurity is a lack of assurance or confidence in oneself. You wouldn't change something about yourself if you liked it. This is not true. I know a lot of people who changed the gap in their teeth. That made me sad because they were pressured into doing it, even though they fought tooth and nail to not do it. Annalisa, you're muted. Oh, you weren't talking to us.
Oh, no. Sorry. I also wanted to say that augmentation, like, all of these things are relative, right? Like, people getting cosmetic surgery, and I know that this is a hyper stereotype, but let's say, you know, the affluent women in Beverly Hills, for example, a procedure like Botox, or I don't even know what they do, that might be parallel or similar to getting a facial for like somebody like Kay and I. Like these things are all relative. I also agree with him. I don't think that I think that you can have an insecurity, sorry, about a specific part of your body, but still love your entire body, love your entire self inside and out. An example that I would give is mothers or women who have breastfed and the breastfeeding just sucked all of the meat out of your breast. And sorry for the men listening, but that's a reality. It happens. And a lot of women, if they have the resources, a lot of women would opt for breast implants because it changes your body. It changes the way your clothes fit you, but you still love that part of your body. You still love your body. You still love the fact that you were able to provide sustenance for your child. So I feel like these procedures are relative. A BBL, a nose job, like even makeup. There are a lot of like dogmatic Christians who would look at somebody with tattoos and like clutch their pearls, I don't know if it's necessarily I don't know if it's a self-love issue. And Petty, I don't know. We all do acquiesce. Like it's assimilation. We all assimilate. We are all in the matrix. We've assimilated to some degree, to some extent. The Native Indians aggressively were forced to assimilate, but in general, people in North America have assimilated, and that's a part of it.
My fire alarm is going off in the building.
You have to evacuate. Oh no,
I'm not leaving.
What?
Quickly, I'm going to go off the camera for a second.
Can
you guys hear that? Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Who can control it? I don't know who can control this, but let me go.
Yeah, please go back.
We can.
Thank you, Cynthia. Can I read Cynthia's super chat?
No.
Okay, Cynthia G said, if a person doesn't like something on their body, why wouldn't they change it? I don't understand why you would keep something you don't like. Yeah, like that's, and just because you don't like that part of your body doesn't mean you don't like who you are. I don't think that they're mutually. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
But
I agree.
My line of questioning has to do with whether or not it's healthy in the way we described it earlier. If someone's like completely untouched by society and for whatever reason they just want a breast job, then I think that's a lot different than someone saying, oh, this would get me a lot of attention from men. I'm insecure about this because I don't get enough attention from men, as opposed to.
Is anyone that lives in like a society completely untouched? The thing about the question that I'm just having a hard time wrapping my mind around is it sounds like we're only talking about things that are not medical necessities. And outside of that, like there are so many things that people do that we wouldn't do if maybe we grew up somewhere else, or if media was different, or if we didn't interact with the same people we interact with. Like, who's untouched by society that lives in a society?
That's why I asked y'all the generalized question. Do you think someone in our society can be healthy, be getting cosmetic surgery in a healthy way, all things considered?
Yes.
Absolutely. And also you have to remember, and just to piggyback off of what Kay said, we are all sort of assimilating and adhering to a cultural hegemony. So whatever's culturally acceptable and permissible in North America maybe wouldn't be in Sudan or like in the Middle East, wherever that is, whatever that is. So
that makes me feel like that bolsters my argument.
But I'm saying that to say that the way that we define and characterize healthy will also change based on cultural hegemony, cultural norms, but and whatever assimilation each region is subject to.
And just beauty standards are different, and things that people like, customs in terms of even something like clothing or the way people wear their makeup or their hair or whatever, it's just different depending where you are. So, I mean, the reason that I say that you can absolutely be healthy and, you know, change something about your appearance is because of that. Like, now I know that there are extremes where it becomes unhealthy, where, you know, you're just trying to please everyone. You want to look this very specific way. It's driving you crazy. Like, that's a whole different situation, though. And I don't think that's the case for most people. I don't think
I don't
most
think
people
it's
are like taking that extreme. Because if someone wants to wear, I don't know, like I fill in my eyebrows. Do I hate my face? No. I just fill in my eyebrows because I think it looks better when my eyebrows are filled in. So like I don't know. Do I have any issue going out in public without my eyebrows filled in? No. So like I just don't think that it's I
so
don't think
y'all don't
painting
think
about your looks are unhealthy
I listen,
necessarily.
y'all don't think
Petty. Before I
Mhm.
got braces, my teeth were jacked. Like it looked like I had chewed rocks my entire life. It like my teeth were mush up. They were finished. I had to get braces. Um, does that part of myself being an entire dynamic human being, not just a mush up grill, but that part of myself I was insecure about. Did I conform and adhere to what someone else's gaze or what I thought someone else wanted to see from me? No. It made eating hard. It really, it was cosmetic, but it was also functionality. So also I do wear makeup. As I got older, and I realized I didn't like to wear my makeup when I was younger because I didn't know what I was doing, and I would end up looking like the clown. But as I got older and I started to have fun with it and find pieces of individuality that I was able to impose, I liked it. I liked it as an
wait.
outlet. I liked it as something that I
Can
could
I
be
ask you
creative with. But I
can
look
I
good without makeup. So
can
like
I ask you to clarify
it's not about the gaze. It's about
something you just said?
sure.
When you said you were younger and you stopped doing your makeup because you didn't like it because it looked like the clown, is that your internal perception of yourself or is that something that someone
No,
told
that's
you?
me literally looking at pictures of it and then looking at myself after having done my makeup. It was literally like this, and then I said, okay, I need help. And then I got older and I didn't have the money. So I just got older, and obviously social media changed everything, and everything just became so much more
Wait,
accessible. So it's like, oh, YouTube tutorial, makeup for dummies. And then here I am, like the most basic
so
form of makeup I'm able to do. And I still love myself. Most of my
so
life,
y'all
most of the
don't
time, I do not wear makeup. So
y'all don't think the clown is fine? Because I don't know.
You
All
say
my friends go crazy over him. Let me go through some of the super chats. Cynthia says, if you have small boobs but always wanted bigger ones, why is getting them bigger an issue? I don't think it's an issue, by the way, and I am pro cosmetic surgery. I just wanted to discuss theory around self-love and healthiness when doing cosmetic surgery. Cynthia, thank you. She also said cosmetic surgery does not mean insecurities. That's a myopic perspective. If someone has a deviated septum and gets rhinoplasty to correct it, doesn't mean they're insecure or they want to breathe. I think that is functional surgery, even if it is cosmetic, that is still functional surgery. That like, yeah. So I consider those different.
okay,
Um,
so wait a minute, but what about my example where I gave, and because this is a really prevalent occurrence. If listen, matter of fact, I should probably start like a GoFundMe or maybe like a pool of like I would absolutely get breast implants if I had it like that, if I just had like $40,000 or $35,000, if I wasn't going to go back to school, I would absolutely listen. Breastfeeding is the most amazing. I don't care what anybody says. It's the
Cynthia
most.
says,
You know what? We'll get into that
wait,
on another debate. But breastfeeding
let me
it changes it.
let me ask, does the severity of the cosmetic surgery matter? Because there's a surgery now where men are literally the doctor will take a sledgehammer and crush the man's legs. They'll crush the femur and reform it a little longer. And the men will go over and do this over and over again to gain as much as 3 inches of height.
I think
I
I
mean,
just
I'm gonna be yeah. Go ahead, kid.
I think I just saw someone do that where they like lengthen your tibia or something to get taller or whatever. Um, you know, it's really interesting the things that people think are extreme just based on like, because some people think things that we think might be normal are extreme. We might think things that other people think, oh, that's not a big deal. We might think it's extreme. I think it's all very relative. And it really depends on what you're used to seeing around. Because, like, for us, if somebody's like, oh, so and so got a nose job, like a lot of people get nose jobs, especially like in Hollywood. I think that's probably one of the most popular surgeries that people get cosmetically. And, to us, it's not like, oh my goodness, this is appalling. But I'm sure there are some people on earth who are like, why would anybody ever do that? So it just really all depends on where you grow up, what types of things you're used to seeing. And I think that it's really easy to say what's extreme when that's not what you consider extreme. But it might not be extreme to everybody. It really just depends.
But Petty, I will say, Petty, I don't know how tall you are, but I will say, women have been subjecting themselves to some of the most, especially in the last maybe 50 years, to the most just brutal forms of cosmetic surgery. I mean, in an attempt to acquire in an attempt to acquiesce to the male gaze. I think it's high time that men, look with short men. I think it's high time that they break their their calves. It's high time.
Okay, now I feel like y'all have
taller,
been now I feel like y'all have been disingenuous for the first time. Now we're talking about beauty standards and how stringent they have been on women historically. I agree. And when I say maybe the fact that there's like a trending surgery every like 6 years that changes to something else, and you have people like Blac Chyna coming out and saying, I regret this. I did this for other people. I don't think this was the right decision. And I say, do you guys think generally in society that maybe like the cosmetic surgery might be attached to some insecurity? And y'all start, well, we really have to look at individual cases. Like, why didn't y'all come with that earlier? Actually, excuse me, why didn't I come with that earlier? It was my argument. But
sorry, can you pose the argument again? What am I missing?
So in this society where women have such a stringent beauty standard, do you think
imposed on them? Yeah.
Yes, imposed on them by the patriarchy, the white, whatever, or whoever. Do you think that generally, when people are getting these surgeries, that it's done from a healthy place of self-love, or do you think it's to conform to an unhealthy beauty standard?
Why can't it be both? Do you think that they're mutually exclusive? You think that it could not be both? You think that it has to be one or the other?
When my friend came to me and said, I'm getting a BBL because this is gonna make my man go crazy, and if I want to go get other guys, they're gonna go. I feel like this is coming from an unhealthy place. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you love yourself and you're doing that too because it benefits you. Technically, like, it feels like y'all are making technical arguments.
You're bringing up a specific instance that you're thinking about in terms of your friend.
But I think that's generalizable.
I mean, no, I don't think that your friend's situation is necessarily like I don't think that's the norm.
The norm, yeah. I don't think that
is the baseline. Unconscious conforming to the male gaze, to the patriarch. Y'all don't think so? It's just like, oh, I'm just doing it for me. This has nothing to do with any.
No. But that's two different things. So when you're asking if something is subconscious, that's automatically different than your friend who consciously said, I am doing this because my boyfriend said that he likes it. That's what makes it different. One is subconscious, maybe one is just like, oh, I'm part of this society and this is how I feel about this. Have I really explored why I feel this way about this? Maybe not. But so I get where you're going with that, but those two situations are not the same.
It just feels like in the society y'all are talking about, everyone has done so much self-reflection and has so much confidence, and everybody's like so amazing, and they've done all the introspection and all the work, and they're just getting the
no, that's an unfair standard. No one has done all the work. So like, I could love my gap, more than someone else who decided to close theirs, or love mine less, because I was actually going to close my gap and I was told not to, and I was grateful to be told not to, because like literally I was going to do it because someone who I looked up to was like pressuring me to do it. And I was about to do it, and my mom was like, this is not what you want to do. So like, no, like you can engage in behaviors to change something about you that you actually like.
And Petty, like Kay and I have been, we've reiterated, and I'm not gonna engage further because I feel like we're we're really like beating a dead horse. These things are going to be relative. It's going to be relative to any to specific cultural or hegemonic norms or regional norms. The like this is a relative sort of mentality or relative perspective. So it's going to change based on where you are, how old you are, based on where you work and what you do, what your level of education is. Like you have to remember that a person can have because we're talking about healthy, and I still will argue that what we believe to be healthy is relative in North America, and it
Yeah.
can be distinct in other places in the world. But we'll use North America for example. If we're going to say that, hey, cosmetic surgery or improving oneself, at least externally, if that can potentially open doors that lead to economic mobility, these things can contribute positively to one's health, like fiscally, psychologically, mentally, emotionally. So there's going to be there's going to be a sort of residual effect. So even if we're talking about health in this context, there
No,
are still
strippers change their body for more money. They don't mean they hate their body previously. I'm going to move on because Petty's just trying to cause us problems.
I just genuinely wanted to understand um, why y'all hate yourself. I wanted y'all to not hate yourself. I just wanted to help y'all. I just wanted y'all to improve the standard. That's just what I wanted. Cynthia says, I don't like the gap in my front teeth, so I'm starting Invisalign to close it. Does that mean I'm insecure, or doesn't mean I don't want a gap in my front teeth? It depends.
it's the latter. It's the latter. And but the beauty is that it could be both. I used to have a gap. Like, listen, when I say my teeth were finished before I got braces, but I still thought that I was beautiful. I still thought that I was capable and I had great capacity as a human being. But I
Why
still also
I don't
recognized
know why
that
you're
when I chewed
engaging
my
this.
food, it was chewing like this. Like my teeth, my one jaw was going east and the other was going west. Like it's a problem.
What about skin bleed? I thought we went in there.
Yeah, I think what I'll say is
I
skin bleaching is fine.
No, I don't know if it's fine. I actually don't know the answer to skin bleaching.
So,
I think
Betty, the answer is that it could be either, but it doesn't necessarily mean that a person hates themselves or is insecure or whatever. If they choose to put on a wig, wear makeup, get a nose job, whatever, but it can mean that, but it doesn't always.
Yeah.
but does
Wait,
it?
does it? Oh, I don't
Thank you.
remember what the first question part of that question was. Thank you, Sin.
Petty, you might be a
Patty,
bit
you might
purist
be a
here.
bit purist here. We aren't holy.
I'm not
Um,
either.
I don't I don't even know if it's purist. It's I think there is a general consensus about people who could get surgery, and I don't know if it's correct. Ultimate Enigma says, how many men would undergo limb stretching surgery to be taller if it was affordable? Society values hiding men. Doctors in India perform this. Yeah, I've seen videos about this. Absolutely not. Thank you, Ultimate Enigma.
Wait, so
Um,
you were researching it? You were interested?
oh, no. I've seen videos about it. I don't know. Absolutely not. Does a person without boundaries love themselves? Some people change for themselves. Most change for others, even when it means going under the knife. I, I think a lot of us perform for others. So I don't know what to say about that. So thank you, LB.
Some people
Um,
don't know the difference between self-improvement and security. Some people are very narrow-minded with myopic thinking.
Agreed. Actually, self improvement for like changing something about my body, like me trying to get bigger, for example, is my gift to myself because I love myself so much.
But y'all are thinking everybody in y'all think men go to the gym because, oh, I just want to work on my health, or y'all think they want to get girls.
No, I think a lot of people want to get girls, but the two are not mutually exclusive.
Right.
They seem to be. I've seen the manosphere.
None of them are going to the gym, girl. What do you mean? I've seen the manosphere too. If they're going to the gym, it's not working. What what is the norm? Sorry, that was petty. Anywho,
Yeah, no, but Cynthia made a good point. And Sin, thank you for the super chats, everyone. We are don't say y'all's as in plural. It's petty. It is petty being petty, doing petty things
Wait,
for pettiness,
I don't
for
like
the
that
sake of
Cynthia
petty.
G keeps bringing up super chats talking about what about people who are blind and they get surgery to see or they can't
You
hear.
are
see
I feel like
again,
those
are
are
people who
fundamental.
use acne
you're going to an
medication
extreme. You're going to an extreme. You're not even proving
are
a point.
people who use are people who use
Contacts too.
acne medication to treat acne insecure too. To be fair, a lot of them are about the
Hmm.
acne, but yeah,
But it's we've been trying to help you understand that these concepts are not mutually exclusive. Like
When did I
you
say
can
they were
have one
mutually
without the
exclusive?
other, but
Because it feels like y'all are putting
oftentimes
words in my mouth.
they're going to exist together.
And just in general, like it's okay to change something that you're in. It's okay to be insecure about something and then to change it. Like if someone has acne and then they go to their dermatologist, get on Accutane, it's not gonna be like you're insecure.
why are y'all meaningfully engaging with Prince Teddy?
Like
Why
And
are
also,
y'all
it's okay. It's okay to do that.
and I don't like I also don't want people to walk away with the feeling or with the idea that if you have an insecurity, you don't love yourself. Like that's not
I feel
fundamentally
like
that's not
people
true.
I feel
yeah.
like people will walk away from what I said with the notion that maybe I should do introspection before I do something like this. That's it.
Okay,
Not like,
sure.
oh, I
Okay,
can't
I
do
fine.
believe
this.
yeah, Teddy, yeah.
You're so altruistic. Thank you.
I've had cosmetic surgery. I was 17. I was insecure, and my doctor was low key disrespectful. Maybe I'm biased. I think most are insecure, and some are making money moves and embracing creativity. So that you are insecure about something about you does not mean you are insecure. Like it's just like I feel like we're conflating things, and I don't appreciate that. I see people who know they are bad, you know what, and was like, okay, let me change this to be even better. Period. But thank you, LB. Um,
Cynthia
Sin
says,
says,
does wearing contacts to correct vision and insecurity? By y'all's logic, people should walk around visibly impaired. Contacts are seen as cosmetics. When I say cosmetic, I mean it in the colloquial sense, not in the, oh, I have something impaired on my body and need to fix it for a quality of life.
girl, why are
Well,
you fighting with the chat, Petty? Why are you fighting? Ain't nobody trying to fight
What?
with you.
Who is talking about? Who is talking about? Oh, I got surgery to fix my vision. When they say cosmetic surgery, y'all think that's what people generally mean, or y'all think they mean like getting a
I mean,
BBL?
I've seen people try to quote unquote fix their vision and then come back with blue eyes.
Mm. Cheryl says, would we apply this same sentiment to Black people who relax their hair? Because I feel like that isn't the general consensus in the Black community, usually viewed as they don't like their Blackness. I think I brought this up earlier regarding going to work and straightening your hair.
I mean,
okay.
there are. I mean, I don't think people who perm their hair are self-hating. I think. I think we are insecure and we're projecting that onto people. So
How did y'all feel about my
Also,
perm?
also,
No, not Cheryl. No, I'm not talking about Cheryl. I think a lot of us are insecure, and when people do things that we think step out of the bounds of how we should be pro-black or whatever, we get offended by other people's decision. I don't know why people are offended by other people's decision. If they want to do it, let them do it. If they say they're not insecure, then they're not insecure. Leave people alone.
Right, but there's also that sort of the duality of double consciousness where Black people have to sort of make sure that they're maintaining or that they're still sort of adhering to the Black image and Black construct while simultaneously adhering to and conforming to the white or performing for the white gaze, but also adhering to that and conforming to that culture and hegemonic sort of society. So for Black people, it is going to be a bit more nuanced. It's going to be a bit more complicated. We could talk about that at a later date. But with respect to
it
hair,
shouldn't be. It is not nuanced. Anyone who comes to me and say I'm getting this done, are you sure? Do you talk to a therapist? Are you good? Blah blah blah. I think we're too deeply invested in having people conform to foolishness. If people want to change,
I'm just saying, like with respect to hair, I just wanted to say that I'll speak for myself. I'm lazy. I don't bleach. I don't perm my hair, but I straighten it because I'm lazy. Okay, I'm too lazy to go through the necessary steps that are required to maintain healthy, natural hair. One day, I might Angela White myself. You know what I mean? I might evolve and I might feel like I'm in a new stage in my life where I just want to be completely and wholly natural, aesthetically and physically. And I might get to that step. Right now, I'm too lazy, period. It has nothing to do with Blackness, whiteness, this, that. This is me understanding who I am when it comes to my hair and aesthetics and lazy. That's it.
Thank you, Cheryl. Glasses, can we not wear them? You remember when Nene said that, call that girl glasses in the bus? Never mind. Guys, that was one of the few episodes of Real Housewife I watched, and Nene really looked at that woman and called her glasses. Okay, now glasses. I was like, damn, you're dead wrong for that.
That's not a Gen Z show. You're going to have to talk to me about Love is Blind or The Circle because I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Never mind. It doesn't. LASIK can consider cosmetic surgery, and contacts are cosmetics too. Yep. And when you definitely put in a different color in them contacts, it's definitely cosmetic.
Again, y'all are conflating the conversation with something different because I don't think anybody's talking about I'm blind and need surgery to see.
Look,
we're talking about.
When I used to see those people come with like blue contacts, they would come in class with blue contacts, and I'm looking at them like, girl, period. I judge harshly.
We know everyone has insecurities. It's the shaming context they're using that makes it negative. Cynthia agrees with me. She says that society is shaming people negatively, and this is causing them to get surgery. That's what I took from that. If we can move to Tiny.
I feel like that's not what she said, but okay.
That's what I heard.
I feel like we should ignore.
I feel like Petty had too much practice in the red pill manosphere spaces, and it really colors the way that he forms his style of argumentation. He's good at it. He's bad at
it. So apparently there are people. Wait. Just FYI. Apparently there are people who send super chats and then go back to their channel because they didn't like the response to their super chat and make videos about you and Alicia. Just FYI. Someone sent me a video of someone dragging you because you did not respect this.
What?
I definitely took a shot because I was annoyed with the ringing of the alarm. So
are you being serious? You guys, I don't have my contacts in. I can't see everything.
Look, you definitely saw that super chat because you read them for filth apart.
Wait, well, I don't even know what we're talking about. I honestly don't.
No,
If I
I've
offended
never
anybody
shown.
in the
I'll
chat,
show it to you. I'll show it to
anybody
you
who
later.
actually contributed, I really apologize.
No. Don't do that because it was not. You were not wrong. I watched it and I was like, absolutely not. That was out of line. They were out of pocket. I have a question. What if cosmetic surgery was not available to change anything? What if artificial cosmetics were not available? What then? More self-acceptance, I think. Or you could go along the lines of like more people hating themselves and more depression. I don't think cosmetic surgery actually improves self-esteem as an FYI. So that.
Yeah, my friend, he has a. I don't know
Thank
if
you.
it's too. I don't know if it's too explicit. He has a banana and he tapes it to his leg. He wants the impression
No,
of anyway.
no, Mistress Not Fancy. Welcome to the membership. We're not engaging with Prince Petty right now. Absolutely not. Sinji says, if cosmetic surgery didn't exist, then nobody would get it. Duh, period. You can't utilize what doesn't exist. They would find a way. Not y'all fighting with, wait, y'all fighting each other with super chats. I'm here for it. Did we talk about Blac Chyna? Thank you, Thing.
I think you were about to talk about your mom.
Oh yeah, the mom. Thank you, Kay the Unbroken. I think I said thank you to everyone. So the mom, jealous mother, concerned mother, hopeful mother, good mother, Tokyo Tony. All right, everyone agrees it's a good mother. All right, let's move on.
I don't know them. That's a Gen X thing. I don't know. Who?
Gen X? Wait, I don't know. I don't know
what gens are.
I just don't understand how parents can be jealous of their children or child. Like, I hate that. That is disgusting to me.
Wait,
like, you're the thing is, Tokyo Tony, what's her name? Lovely T, call her Teriyaki Tina. She's a beautiful woman. I mean, she looked like she doesn't really care anymore. But if she wanted to, she could be. She could do it too. But why would you compete with your daughter? Like, I don't understand.
I've never understood. I feel like as a parent, your sole goal and purpose in life is for your child to exceed.
Absolutely not.
It's for your child to be better than who you are, to go further than where you went. Like, the idea is each generation does better than the last. I don't understand, like, the idea of being jealous of not just your child. To me, that's deranged. That speaks to a very troubled and disturbed pathology. But even like jealous of your like sisters or your best friend, that's weird. You're weird. It's very weird. I don't get it.
So I disagree that your soul or main or even top 5 girls. I'm kidding. Let me leave them children alone.
Wait, I found the quote from Tokyo Tony. I'm like out of the loop. The quote, it says she wrote to her daughter Blac Chyna on Instagram, "You can F with me if you want B. I'm talking to my daughter right now. You effing SLUT bucket. You're a weirdo. You're a effing weirdo." I have no idea why. I don't know the context here. What?
Wait, no. So Teriyaki Tina had the following to say regarding her child. Berries were used to stain the lips before makeup was created. People will find way to enhance them. Period. Thank you, Sinji, and yes. Let me play this.
Sitting in the house looking stupid as fuck like you been being, bitch. And I'm talking to my fucking daughter right now, you fucking slut bucket. You a weirdo. You're a fucking weirdo. You're gonna stay a weirdo. You always been a fucking weirdo. Any motherfucking way. Always been trying to protect your jealous nothing ass bitch. Always. You don't want nobody to get above you. You didn't want Treasure to get above you. Because bitches would have surpassed you. That's why you don't take care of nobody. In that order. Shit. I'm not going for it because she mad, shorty. I am God's child, not China. China is a PR stunt. Come on, bitch. We know better. I don't give a fuck. She'll never talk to me in life, chat. I raised her, had her, taught her. She know everything. She know everything. This bitch is faking. In Jesus' name, stop her right now. Put her on her back. This morning, Angie, you can fuck with me if you want, bitch. I show that text.
I was over here saying F word, B word, and you gonna play that explicitly. Yeah, I just feel like you said that children have an obligation to take care of their parents, so you should be siding with Tokyo, Tony. That's
No,
how I
I
feel.
said they have it when the parent is good. Also, what is this? How can someone, even if it's a publicity stunt, how can that make you so upset?
Yeah.
It might be a mental illness. Let me stop.
This is her responding
Not
to Blac
might.
Chyna saying
Not
I'm
might.
getting my filler removed and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the amalgam of literally everywhere that Tokyo and the absent father failed. Is the amalgam or the result is Blac Chyna, and I think that Blac Chyna sort of disassociating herself, whether this is a PR thing, whether this is, she wants this to be lucrative, I don't really care. But I think even symbolically, her divorcing herself from that is also, it's also creating additional insulation and protection from her mom, because that's even further away from who her mom clearly is, who her mom socialized her to be, and who her father failed to socialize her and raise her to be. That's what Blac Chyna represents to me. And Angela White, I think it's kind of it's a cool way to kind of take power back or to empower oneself, because Blac Chyna, I could see how that could create that. Like, that makes sense to me, how you would go down the path that Blac Chyna ultimately went down. 1 + 1 = 2. That is disturbing. I feel like it corrodes my soul. That's a parent, that's a mom. Can you imagine how she behaved when Angela was a child? I feel sick. That's disgusting.
Well,
It's
y'all
sick.
know how I feel about y'all know how I feel already about parents talking to their child any type of way. So I think
While we're on I don't have anything to say. I think that's disgusting. But while we're on the conversation about parents, how about parenting other people that you don't know? So that was a terrible transition. Little Mama and Sukiyana, girl Suki something. She has a video where she's walking with another woman on all fours, and young Chopper, I don't know, some Chopper person, aeroplane, has their braids and hold them like they're holding them like a leash, but with their braids, and they're walking on all fours. I have the image. I'm not very descriptive. Here's the image right here. There. So that is the image, and Little Mama said things. So are we reading this? Because my voice hurts.
Hey, what's up, sis? I know we don't know each other personally. I'm seeing you wrote a post addressing me, and I never addressed you personally. You could have been any Black woman in that video. I posted a comment under, the way I feel still stands. I feel like women these days will know better and still play a role setting us back centuries. The only reason I deleted my comment was because I didn't want to offend you and anyone else partaking in that disturbing clip. I don't know about you, but I don't want our daughters to remember us like this or feel this is what they need to do to survive. And if that's the excuse anybody comes up with in 2023, that's cap.
So this was the image. Sukiana came.
Oh, that's from her. Wait.
Suki said, they said the girl Lil Mama that sung that lip gloss song was in the comments speaking on me. If I was y'all, I would tell her to leave me the TF alone.
Not that it matters. Does anybody know how old Sukiana is?
No. I don't know.
Googling. She is 31.
31?
And she's a Scorpio. That's relevant.
That is relevant. I wouldn't even consider this like parenting, or even parenting by proxy. I feel like, first of all, that picture makes me sick. This stream is making me actually physically sick. Like, we went from Tokyo to this. I feel sick. That picture, I'm gonna have nightmares about that picture, and just the community in general. But I think it's a net positive. I think it's a good thing. I don't think that it is indicative or an example of Lil Mama parenting or trying to parent. I think that.
Oh no, that was supposed to be a transition. Ignore the parenting comment.
Oh, then I'm sickened by that.
Are you with the Little Mama on this? Do you think you should be able to police other women's behavior publicly?
I don't think that that's policing. I think that when you live in a time where everything is your life, everything is on social media, I think that you're not impervious to the opinions of others, regardless of their status, and regardless of their position in society. That's the way that the world works in 2023. The world is round. Get over it. But I don't think
she should be able to do this.
Yeah, it's not. I don't. To me, the question's flawed. I don't see the. Yeah.
If you had the power to prevent her from doing it, would you stop her?
Me personally, I guess there would be variables that. There would be additional variables that I would have to look at, because I don't think it's black.
Now y'all trying to escape and give a non-answer.
No, because you can't just because you're asking the question rigidly. The answer is not going to reflect the question, because the question itself to me is flawed. It doesn't make sense to ask the question. This is the world that we live in. And I don't think that it's necessarily bad. This is, to me, it's not an example of policing. Policing, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old.
Should she be able to do this?
Yeah, she should. Why not? If Suki is able to be on all fours like a dog, yeah, sure.
No, I'm saying, should Sukiana be able to do this? Does it set women back?
I'm gonna let Kay go ahead, and then I'll piggyback onto what's said.
I don't like it personally, but like, should she be able to post a picture of herself doing that?
It was a video. Would you allow your daughter to be in a video? Not your daughter. Do you think women should be in videos on all fours being walked around by their braids or hair?
Personal. That's something that I don't personally like. But again, like, should there be some kind of law against this type of picture? I wouldn't say that, but I don't like it.
Do you think the community should rebuke it?
Rebuke. I think that we should not want certain images of ourselves being like.
So Black women should be a monolith.
No. And see, this is the thing, and I get why Annalicia was kind of like, hesitant to answer, because on one hand, it's like, people should be able to do what they want to do, as long as they're not harming anyone, right? But then on the other hand, it's like certain things, just personally, my preference would be for people not to do certain things, but who am I to make...
So your framework, and do you agree, Annalicia? The framework is you should be able to do what you want if it doesn't harm anyone. I took a shot, by the way, like when I left them.
You came back when you came back with that robe. I was like,
What
what?
robe? Don't say that.
They're gonna rewind. I just
And then
feel
you
like
and I was like, what? People should be able to do things, but it doesn't mean that the things that people are going to be doing are always going to be good or that everyone's going to always like them.
But once it doesn't hurt them, hurt other people.
But we can still have our own like personal preference about things that we like to see or not.
But is that the standard? People should be able to do what they want if they don't harm other people, if it's not harming other people. Is that the standard?
Well, one could argue that those types of images do harm other
Well,
people.
that's what I was gonna. That's where.
Yeah. So I mean, again, personally, I don't like the imagery. I like if I could just say, "Oh, this imagery is not going to be out there," I would say, "Okay, let's not make this imagery out there so publicly. Fine, whatever." But since that's not the case, and I don't have that power, it's one of those things where, because
So if you had the power, you would stop her bag.
the first thing I thought about was like kids or whatever, like seeing certain things, right? I wouldn't want
So celebrities should raise their children.
Okay,
No,
I feel like
and that's the thing.
Hold on.
That's the thing.
It's not fair because I feel like I feel like we're on the stand and the lawyer. It's enough. I had absolutely enough.
He said he took a shot.
No. I feel like
You are going to put on the witness stand and you are going to answer the questions now. What do
I
you
haven't
think,
gone to
Venus?
petty. I haven't gone to petty because I feel like the women should be the ones talking.
Well, I feel
about
like the
this.
lawyer has the answers.
I don't have the answer. I actually don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, so what do you think? Do you think that this image?
Why are you asking? I think women should be able to do what they want.
Okay.
I don't think men should be telling women how to be.
See, and that's the thing. When it comes to the point where it's like, okay, where do we draw the line? Should people be able to do what they want or not? These types of things are going to happen. So it's like, do we want to put a ban on things people are doing and then that stops people from doing things?
Wait a minute, Kay. I want to hear the rest of what you're saying, but I feel like Themes is trying to escape the question. There was also a man in that photo holding two black women by their hair. How do you feel about him?
Oh, degenerate.
Okay.
That was easy.
Continue, Kay, please.
That degenerate.
I mean, again, so people can do things, people can post things. People are going to have opinions about them or like them or not like them. You know, we know this. But I always think it's a very like sticky situation when it's like, should people be able to? Because then where does the line get drawn?
Listen, we can draw lines. Like if it really came down to it, and we were looking to create, a society, like an optimal society. We would draw lines. We would name names. But I just want to. I'm trying to understand if he's degenerate. How is she not degenerate by extension?
Who said she wasn't?
He refused to speak on that.
You can't see the fit. So I understand that.
Look, I can look at a man's behavior and be like degenerate, whatever. I'm looking up there now and say, what's the verdict?
Yeah, I don't like that imagery, especially since a lot of people see it and then like apply it to all black women type of thing. Like it is harmful for black women in general, I would say, that type of imagery. And I think that's a big reason why I don't like it. But she's allowed to post it. I mean, the best you can do is just unfollow, block, whatever you need to do to not see it.
Because we're allowed to do something doesn't mean that we should.
I agree.
But I'm just saying in general, like this is something that I would say, okay, throw it in the garbage as a part of not just an image, because whether we want to accept it or not, this image absolutely is connected to black women in some way, especially if we're gonna like look at it from a demographic standpoint, like especially, no offense, but in certain parts of America, it's definitely associated.
Both of you all say it's degenerate. What she's doing is degenerate.
Sorry?
Yes or no? Both of you all say what she's doing is degenerate.
Yes, and that image, what she's doing, that it should be.
So
It
y'all are
both be.
Kay, are you Kay,
what is
do you
she
think this is degenerate?
behavior? I mean, I don't
It's
like the
degenerate
behavior.
behavior. Yes, I don't
So
care how much money
y'all are
you're
shaming
making.
Black women?
Oh my god.
Wait,
I
no,
don't
I'm just
like
asking, are you guys shaming Black women?
No, I'm just saying that I don't like the photo or whatever. I didn't see the video, but the
So
photo.
it's not degenerate.
Okay, no, Themia, stop. Like,
No, I said the man is degenerate because Pretty pressed me, not too hard, but I'm trying to see something.
What are you trying
No,
to
I'm not
see?
joking. I'm literally not even trolling. I just wanted to see something.
What you trying to see?
What you guys would say.
I mean, I think I've said in many different ways exactly how I felt about that photo. What is her occupation? Like, why do we know who she
Is
is?
she a OnlyFans person or a rapper or both?
Oh,
she's a TV personality as well. I'm pretty sure she was on like a Love and Hip Hop series at one point. I don't think that her professional purview, that doesn't matter. The behavior and the effect that it has on young Black women, young Black girls, girls in general, just as a general matter. The principle of it, it's degenerate, it's garbage, and it should be throw it away. It should be thrown away. Like, I don't know. Like, oh, well, what are we having? What is this argument about? We're not talking about
No one
shaming
is
Black women.
arguing, literally
You
asking
have to
questions.
separate behavior and women and Black women. We can look at the behavior associated with a Black woman and you separate it and say, hey, we love you, but what you're doing is a problem and it needs to stop. Like, what's the problem?
No, I don't understand what you're saying or
it's
doing
because
because
you
no
asked
one
if we
said
were
that.
shaming.
I understand what I'm saying.
It's because you asked if we were shaming Black women.
And the answer to that is
No.
no. All right. What are you doing now?
Saying that I was saying I didn't like a photo after being asked about it. What in the world? Where?
I've been called a hater a time or two. I hate it, ban it, shame Suki. Period.
I don't.
Golden says. Golden says, I don't follow these people, but was Blac Chyna a product of grape? Was Tokyo Teen Mom also? Her hatred seemed like someone who ended up hating Black father. I don't actually know. I don't know their history. I don't follow them at all. I know Blac Chyna from like selling bleach, like bleaching products or something like that. I may actually that might have been someone else. I thought she was selling some kind of bleaching product in Africa somewhere, but I forgot what country. Ignore that. Scratch it. That might be a lie. No, I think that's her. You can read that. Let me look at this up.
I'm all for not walking a Black woman like a bee. I prefer the Rihanna S&M version where you walk a ninja like a bee.
Thank you, LB.
Theme took a shot and came back craving chaos. Yes.
Period.
Freedom of speech is not freedom from consequences.
Thank you, by the way. I agree with that. Yes, she was she was the one who was selling a bleaching cream. Good. Bring back shame. So the question is, why was it uncomfortable to say what she was doing is degenerate? Was it uncomfortable?
For who? For me?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't uncomfortable for me. I was very comfortable.
Why was it uncomfortable, Kay?
I said that her behavior, I didn't like it in that photo.
Do you think it has something to do with the overwhelming attack towards Black women? Because for me, I didn't want, like, I can say it and I would say it, but I'm not about to call her that. Like you did separate the behavior, and you can call the behavior that. The issue is, I think we conflate one individual's action with a community, and we project that so readily onto everyone in said community. And it's very difficult to get out of certain kinds of stereotypes. So the conversation becomes very difficult to have when there is this shaming in the back of our minds around Black womanhood. Is that right? That's my theory, but I could be wrong. I know if you had no problem. So, okay, I guess. Or Annalisa, you can chime in.
I can see what you're saying. Like, I can see that. Like, I guess trying to answer it a certain way because we don't want an entire group to be, I don't know. But again, I didn't like the photo. If it were up to me, like if she came and asked me, hey, should I post this? I'd be like, nah. But she's not going to ask me. So she's allowed to post it. Do I like it? No. Can she post it? Yeah. Like, I guess understand that reality. So I don't have like a strong, I don't know.
No,
I feel I don't have a like I have a very strong allegiance and strong sense of self, but I have a very strong allegiance with respect to Black women, and so that allegiance can sometimes make it difficult to be like, that's degenerate, that's problematic. So I understand, like, and maybe especially when I'm having conversations with a certain type of like manosphere dirtbag. But I think in general, I think it's important to have conversations about Black women and Black men, because we have to raise the standard. Like, the standards and the expectations need to be raised. And I don't think that it's a bad thing to identify behavior that is problematic or degenerate. I don't think that it's problematic to identify it as such. If we were to like, oh, you're you're this, you're that, you're going to HELL, that's a different kind of problem. I think that you can identify a problem with the hope of looking towards a solution with a particular goal in mind. That's how, like, but yeah, I do have an allegiance to Black women, so I am very particular, but I think at the end of the day, it's more advantageous to identify problematic behavior because it hurts them, and it just hurts Black women in general. Whether they know that, they might not know it, and that sometimes is the case. But she's 31. That's 31 years old. I don't know.
By the way, the panel has been open. We said we would leave the last 30 minutes for like a Q&A session. Because we wanted to give you guys time. But did you guys see the young Black girl that was being dragged across the internet for doing this to the white basketball player who previously did the same thing? I don't know any of their names.
Yeah, I saw that. People were doing a lot of talking about that. I think I saw something like that ESPN posted before LSU won, because Caitlyn a lot of people have been talking about her lately, and it was like look at all this trash she talks. It was like a highlight reel of all the trash she talks, and people were just like, she's great, like, she's
the clap queen.
Yeah, yes, I think that was the one that I saw, and now suddenly it's like, oh my goodness, she's classless. I can't believe she waved her hand in Caitlyn's face. And it's like, what? I mean, first of all, in sports in general, people trash talk. Like, that is just part of it. So, like, I just thought it was really strange that this is becoming such a big deal. And I saw Caitlyn's response to it, and she's like, unbothered about it. But so many people just feel the need to jump in and protect Caitlyn. We know why. So it's just, I don't know, it's disappointing that people are criticizing Angel Reese for this when Caitlin Clark was just getting praised for being like the clapback princess or whatever it was.
Guys, not to I don't want to backtrack, and I'm gonna focus my ADM. I'm gonna make sure I focus. But can you put up Avocado's comment very quickly? I just want to comment on this and then move on, because I think it's a really important piece for the more broader and important conversation that I think at some point we probably should have. Is Avocado, right? Or I can read it.
Looking it up.
Do you want me to? I can read it. Okay, so Avocado said it's easy for us to come into these chats and circle jerk on a moral superiority kick. Sorry, it's a whole other ball game to identify causes and come up with solutions. This 100,000% Avocado.
I agree.
And anytime you want to come onto the panel and have a conversation about that, please hit the link, because that is 100% the case. I think that's why I think it's important that we reframe the questions, or the way that we have these conversations, and the lens with which we use to see these conversations, because someone said it in the chat, there could be correlates between this behavior now and, you know, sexual abuse, or not her specifically, but just a sort of an unhealthy relationship with power and sex as a result of childhood trauma or sexual abuse. So yeah, that would be a great conversation. Thank you, Avocado.
I think so too, however, I think we have to be fair across the board and contextualize for everyone that we engage with in that case.
I don't think that in this situation that I'm kind of against the panel a little bit here, and the reason why is that I don't think that what that picture represents isn't also important. Like, when I think about the very real situations that people get into, I don't like pretending like I know what it's like to be somebody else. I don't like the idea that I think that I know better than that person about what's best for them. Like, I think that there's a dignity in giving people the ability to
Nope, some
express
people can't make
themselves fully.
choices. Nope, absolutely not.
I mean, but who am I? Like, I truly believe this.
You set community standards, and unfortunately, not everyone is going to be able to meet those standards. So no, everyone doesn't get to live out what they feel and who they are.
That woman's experience is so important. Do you realize that the girls in the hood that are literally the stomping ground for some of the most brilliant art that has ever come from this country? Like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Very lived experience.
Yeah, but
concern.
concern.
Actually a breeding ground. No,
wait. No. Wait. That is besides the point. You said
it is not. What is wrong with associating that with blackness? What is like?
Concern. What are you talking about? We're saying you said people should be able to fully express themselves, right?
Yes.
No.
Okay, concern. This is what I want to say, because I to some degrees and to some extent I will agree with you, but again, there's a line of gradation, and for me, especially in the Black community, you kind of have to be able to identify maladaptive behaviors, counterintuitive, counterproductive behaviors, unhealthy behaviors. Not saying that that's what we're doing, but I'm just saying in general. Some people are literally their identity is rooted in trauma. Some people's entire identity, they are operating within the world, their existence, their being, the choices that they make, the behavior they engage with, risky and otherwise, that is a result of trauma that they've experienced. They become the trauma. The trauma is their identity. And so from that perspective, we're saying, no, this is something that needs to be looked into further. And in doing so, identifying that behavior, you're able to come up with a solution, or at least you're able to figure out like what's happening with these types of people. We're not talking about people who are just liberated and they're making these choices and these decisions autonomously and in healthy manners. We're talking about people engaging in behavior that's detrimental to themselves and others.
I hear
But the trauma.
Wait. No,
Makes
Annalise,
it
we're running out of
impossible for
time.
them to know that. That's the difference. Trauma makes it impossible for you to know that.
Wait, what did you say? You said no concern. Go ahead.
So I hear you. I definitely hear you, right? Like these traumas that put a person, just even when we talk about this community that we are all thinking is degenerate, right? The idea that this community, this culture, not community, this culture.
Wait. I don't think we. Well, I don't know. I don't speak to people. Someone said to remind me that Andrew Tate is free. He's not free. He's literally on house arrest. I don't think people think like the community is degenerate. I
apologize. Right. I used the wrong word. I switched it out. The culture, that part of the culture, this stream of behavior that includes twerking, that includes, like things that we think are trashy, like to just name it. Like, I think that those people are just as much of a muse to us as anything else. Like when we think about twerking, for example, every culture has sexual dance moves. Like every culture has women dancing in a way to be
let
productive.
you talk, but I don't know what we're talking about. I don't think anyone up here would say twerking in and of itself is degenerate.
I think, okay, if you think that there's a difference between twerking and that picture, I think they're about the same level.
Like an animal. Wait. Being walked like you're likening being walked like an animal by your hair to twerking?
I've seen some things. I don't know if my scale is off, but I've seen some things.
I mean, I'm Jamaican too. I've seen some things, but that's not twerking.
I mean, I think they're close. Because I've seen some things. So, sorry. Like you've seen the videos of what happens at some of these raves. Like, so I'm like, if it's a part of your self-expression, live your life. Okay.
But also concerned, even to that end, I will say that even some kinks. So if you're gonna look at like people who engage in kink or specific sexual proclivities, even some of those are deeply rooted in some form of trauma. Like even kinks. Like and again, so science is always changing. Psychology, we're learning more and more and more as each generation or decade goes by. But even kinks that people engage in under the guise of sexual expression or individual expression can be deeply rooted in trauma or some maladaptive or sort of fractured relationship with sexuality and the self.
Yeah, twerking and that pic are not the same. Agreed. All right, thank you, Concerned. I think LB was next. Thank you. Keep it La La Land. Keep it in La La Land. LB.
I could go after whoever is next. I got distracted by the dog.
Well, you are the next person.
Oh, I came up to bring something up from the. Oh wow, I'm literally the only person here. Okay, so pretty much I just wanted to talk about like the whole comment about the boundaries thing, about if people could love themselves if they don't have boundaries with others.
Mm-hmm. What part?
And that was just a question I had for you guys. Can people love themselves if they don't have boundaries with others? Like if you're willing to physically like go under the knife for somebody or let them walk you like a dog, like depending on like if that's something you want to do, like if it's just your kink, cool. But if you're doing it because you feel like that's what you need to do because you devalue yourself so much that you don't think you have anything else to offer, is that really self-love or confidence?
Is that a boundary though?
Wait, who are you asking? Let's do that.
I think it is a boundary because
who are you
it's just a broad
to,
question
LB?
for the entire panel.
No, pick someone because we can go on forever.
Okay. I don't know who to pick, honestly. That's like hard for me.
All right.
You want to pick someone?
Go ahead. I think Prince Patty or Annalisa can do it.
I'd like to hear Annalisa's answer.
All right, go ahead. You and Annalisa talk.
No, this was the crux of your argument. I'd like to see you engage in this so that I can understand what you are talking about.
This was the crux of my argument. My argument didn't have to do with your boundaries with other people, though.
But but there's interplay between that and self-love.
So I don't know what an individual would call a healthy boundary in their own personal life. I think the point in which you are getting cosmetic surgery for someone is unhealthy generally. Those are my thoughts. Quick, concise.
Okay, well, bye.
If that was unsatisfactory, I'm sorry. Valerie, pick someone.
It was.
Wait. Oh, I thought we were still talking about the picture, or is that over?
You can.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think sometimes we tend to forget when we were younger and we thought about what love looked like, and sometimes as we get older, our external environment tends to influence us and make us think that there's certain things that we like sexually. Because I remember when I was younger, when I thought about love and affection, it didn't have to do with pain. So something happens within the transition, whether that's externally or traumatically, where somehow your brain gets influenced or because of trauma, where you feel like pain represents love. And to me, like, her being on all fours seems denigrating. Like, I know I'm older now. Like, I don't like getting on my knees. My knees hurt. Like, it never feels good to be on your knees. Like, there's just some things that just don't feel good to your body, really. And I think sometimes we're doing things for the gaze and the intention and the seeking of love of a person, So that's just my opinion.
Is that why you think she was down on all fours? Y'all don't think she has like self-love or?
Girl, she's 30 years old. I know her knees got hurt. They were probably creaking. Like, come on, stop. We all hit 30. Yeah, those knees hurt. We can't twerk the way, we can't drop down low the way we used to. Once you pass, like, I feel like toddler stage, high school stage, you start hearing cricks. You need like some fish oil. Like, that's not true. Like, people are doing things that they don't really like to do. They're doing them because they want to keep somebody, or they feel like if I do this, this will make you stay, or this will give me the attention or the love that I need. But a lot of things that I feel like a lot of things that people are doing nowadays, they don't like. And we don't realize it because...
Wait, I don't think that's just true across the board that like some people don't like being on their knees, but like people like to pray.
But when I go to church and I pray, my knees hurt too. I'm waiting for the priest to finish so I can stand up. I'm like, how many times am I going to get on my knees? Oh my God. And then if we think about it back in the day, no, that's true though. And then if we think about it back in the day, there's a lot of images that we did not see. Like, for me, it's shocking. Like, for you to have watched like porn, your parents had to buy Showtime or like had to buy Playboy. Everything is so uncensored that even for me at this age, sometimes when I see stuff, I'm like, oh my God, like, it's shocking to me. And it's not because I'm not sexual, because I am sexual, but I don't think we give ourselves time to really know what we like. Is it what you like, or is it what you
Wait,
think
but I
other
feel like
people like?
I don't. Who is
Valerie, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like we're making a judgment on those women that we shouldn't make. They could be down there because they want to be, they could be having a good time. It doesn't necessarily mean they're doing it for somebody. Like, I don't feel like we can make that assumption.
I don't know. That she was on dirt too. There's rocks and sand. Girl, how you looking so pretty on your knees on dirt, rock, and sand? No,
She
no, no.
looked
That's
pretty to
not
me.
true. It's not true. I don't believe it.
I don't know what she was either. I don't know who the man was. I don't know. I mean, like I said, like I just personally don't like the photo, but I don't know
I
what was going
literally felt like her edges were being pulled. Like, and she has a track on. She got weave. Oh my God. You know, when someone pulls their hair, you feel like your edge is about to get ripped out. It's not true. It's a lie. But, you know, I feel like a lot of women say things to kind of make you believe it, even though they're
Hmm.
unhappy. Like, there's a lot of people that will try to garner you into their unhappiness. Like, this is so fun. You should come and join me. And then when you get there, you're like, this is
For
horrible.
some people, it is fun.
No,
Just
but
don't
you
do
know
it
what that is.
online.
But you know what that's called, Valerie?
No.
It's cognitive dissonance.
Oh.
Wait, what?
That's that.
Wait,
That's
what's hold up? What's cognitive dissonance? Like, why? Why is it that?
it's when we're engaging in behavior that when we kind of have to actively tell ourselves and others, and
Hmm.
oftentimes we do it in really extreme and overt
No, I mean
forms.
specifically in that picture. What is the cognitive
No, I'm
dissonance?
talking about what when she's saying like people want to pull you into it. People want to they go to like lengths and they go to these extents to really show the world that they like this, they love this, they're into it. And
Hmm.
sometimes that's cognitive dissonance at work. Like
And
that's the
sometimes they
brain trying to
like it.
compensate for the fact that um it doesn't really sit right with you, but and you don't know why, and that's kind of what I'm saying. Like the brain is an amazing organ. The what it's capable of doing, so that people can just continue to wake up in the morning and do what they need to do. It is astounding what the brain does in order for people to get through the day. It's amazing, and that's what cognitive dissonance is.
Purple, go ahead. Who are you addressing and what is your question or comment?
Hi, Themis. I guess I can address you, I guess.
Oop.
I just have one comment. My concern about us, quote unquote, policing other people is the road that it can lead down to, aka decisions like what we saw with Roe versus Wade being overturned. It's a really slippery slope when we try to police other people's right to do things, because once we open that door, there's no closing it back. And that's the thing that's concerning me about when we start talking about trying to control how other people are conducting themselves when it's within legal bounds.
Yeah.
As long as they're not doing anything to harm somebody else, then I'm always going to be leery, especially with being a citizen of the United States and our history of taking policing into the next hemisphere, of just going straight into violating other people's rights. That's how we wind up with things like the Salem witch trials, the Jim Crow laws. These are all different forms of trying to say how people should be able to show up and function in our society. As part of two groups that have been forced to assimilate, I'm always leery when we start getting into these type of topics where it can be a slippery slope right down the drain. So thank
Wait,
you for
but you're
having
not.
me.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
What was going to be
I,
your question? I'm sorry.
I was going to ask if you don't believe there should be standards in a community outside of the law.
I think that we do have standards in our communities, and I think it's a good thing, but I'm always going to err on the side of let's be mindful of where these potential roads can lead to.
Yeah, because your articulation is that there should be expression if it doesn't harm someone, which is what Kay said initially. But then we understand that harm is not just direct physical pain, right? Like harm can
Right.
be an image thing. So I mean, I do
Yeah.
understand the slippery slope fallacy. People call it, oh my God, it's a fallacy. But I do think there's something to that. I understand it, and I understand the potential harm, but I also recognize that we need standards.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I can't agree with that, but I'm just saying while we're trying to have standards, let's just remember our history, because if you
No, 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 no.
if you
Your
don't,
caution is noted, and I think important.
yeah.
I agree. Agreed.
Thank you for having me, things. Love you as always, and the
Thank you. I
panel.
appreciate
Thanks.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Like, Lala, we have 5 more minutes. We started late, by the way, for anyone keeping the time, so we have 5 minutes. Um, Lala, go ahead. Who are you
Okay.
addressing? Please don't say me.
I'm not
I is
addressing you.
tired.
It's just a comment based off of that image. I'm with you, Annalicia. Absolutely not. I was thinking it was trash. I'm sorry. When she said trash, I was like, yes, this is not. You know, when we talk about, we had a conversation. I remember I've been watching a lot of your videos, Demas, but about controlling images, and that's just like the first thing that came to mind about controlling images. And then like we are always like concerned about, at least we've been talking about the Black woman's image and how it's been under attack forever. And this just does not help. It does harm. It does cause harm. This is just one more thing. It's like adding ammunition to someone else's gun. And it broke my heart to just see this. It's like, okay, I'm a Black woman with braids. I just hope that someone sees that image and they don't look at me and say like, oh yeah, was she no, I'm not down for that at all. Absolutely not. I feel like maybe for Suki, she must have been like, I just feel like it's really misguided. I feel like this could be even more of a just something that, I'm not saying that we should look to celebrities to influence our children, but the reality is that celebrities do. That's our reality. Whether we want that to happen or not, they do. And so seeing that and seeing these images, it's just, it was, yeah, yeah. And the other thing I have to say is like, okay, we're kind of like hesitant. Of course, we don't want to, judge Black women. But at the same time, it's like, hey, we kind of, I think we have to kind of get on code and talk about this a little bit and say like, hey, we're talking about how don't get respect, and we're always seen as hypersexualized and pushing back against it all the time. And then something like this comes back and it's just like, well, you try to individualize it as much as you possibly can. But I don't know. I just feel like that's really easy, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I can say that much. I don't think it was great. Call me judgmental, say that I am shaming Black women. I'm not shaming the collective of Black women, but I think that image and the decision to post an image like that, I think it deserves a little, bit of shame.
Do you think this is respectable politics for the white gays? I'm just asking based on the
I don't
comments.
care about what white people think. I didn't like it myself. I just don't. It's putting women in a position. We talk about like subjugation and saying like that's what you're saying. She's below you. She's on the
Yeah.
ground. She's being treated like an animal. Who cares who else is looking at it? I'm seeing it, and I'm like, no, this is not who I am. And if we're talking about how we want to be seen in the world as someone who is respected, and this is not just to do with white gays, like that's not a respectable position, in my opinion. And so I know I
Yeah.
have very strong opinions, and maybe I need to work on that. But
No. That I was trying to ask the question that I saw as a theme in the chat.
yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure I posed it to you. Thank you, Lala.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Lala.
All right.
The
I
what?
also wanted to just to add to that, because I did see somebody say something in the chat with respect to respectability politics. This is not about what white people think or what white it has. For me, this doesn't have anything to do with that. But in the Black community, even if we're going to relegate it just to that, and not even to just Black women are still contending with the image that Black men superimpose onto Black women, through white supremacy. So we haven't even touched the white gays. We haven't even touched white people, white men, white society. We're dealing with Black men and their ideas of white superiority and how that translates to the way that they see Black women and treat Black women. That's where we are. Everything else is peripheral for now, and we'll deal with it when we have to deal with it. But right now, we have to grab hold of it because Black men are not.
Wait, 1 second. We have 30 minutes, 30 seconds. So that's why I cut you off, Annalisa. I apologize. We need to gatekeep our image, define harmful. Thank you, Afro Butterfly. The what, you have 30 seconds. Indica, you have 30 seconds. Go ahead first, the what.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say, like, Suki is, when it comes to our image and women in hip hop, I feel like it almost feels like the bottom of the barrel is what's being elevated for Black women's image, especially in hip hop. Because Suki, there was like a video of her sucking some guy and vomiting on him, and like it was disgusting. It was disgusting, and it's like, why, out of all the new female rappers, why is someone like that being elevated? Like, why is our focus? Well, I do know the community, we like the mess, and that's why we give attention to the Blac Chynas and the Sukis and whatever, versus like whatever hip hop used to be with the intellectual kind of like artistry. But yeah, I think that Black women, we should fight for our image. I think this is a perfect time to fight for our image. We don't have to keep kind of like perpetuating and peddling the same image that Black men have imposed on us in hip hop. We don't have to do that anymore. Like, and also I just want to give a second to shout out, sorry, to like the Brat and Missy Elliott. They didn't have to do all that. You know, I just want to see more of that. All right, that's it. Good night.
Thank you. Miss Jane, go ahead.
All right. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So couple things, general question to everybody. I'm trying to figure out what are the benefits of people revealing their kinks in a patriarchal society? Like, in other words, what benefits, why would I need to share with everybody what my kink is?
You will weed out people who would slut shame you publicly.
By getting shamed publicly.
But I could be slut shamed with a skirt on that shows my ankles. So I'm going to be slut shamed anyway, no matter what I do. So let's say that's still not a benefit. Avoiding
you think y'all would treat these two women the same if they were like fully clothed and like?
Absolutely not. No, that's the thing. That's why I believe that we should be gatekeeping our image, because that image does not show anything. The connotation behind that image does not show anything positive about Black women. And especially in porn, you can tell when something is pornographic and it's geared toward the female gaze or the male gaze, what type of message is trying to send, all of those things. And none of those things are showing that women in a good light. And it's kind of like trying to reiterate or prove those points. To me, that image does not show that a woman was taking control of her sexuality and being not necessarily a dom, but being the one who has still some type of power and not is just subservient in that photo.
All right, thank you. So it reaffirms stereotypes. Slippery slope's not always bad. You get right. That's that way. Keep in La La Land said. Thank you so much. Boys who have a hard time comprehending things would not be able to separate this image from Black women. I actually have a question about how women dress and how we tell women to dress better in order to not attract the wrong kind of attention, and whether or not that is useful. But I think we can do that some other time, because I do think that could be a good deep dive. Thank you, Curry Up and Eat. There is one comment that I wanted to go over in the after show that I saw. So in 2 seconds, I'm gonna play the outro. We all look tired. I apologize. So this comment before we go, the final comment, I thought this was interesting. People don't realize that their standards are based on what white people told us was acceptable. How do you guys respond to this? Because there is no way. How do you respond to this?
No, what were you gonna say first? What were you gonna say?
There is no way to know where our norms and customs come from. I think we were influenced by white people as well as our African ancestry in some ways, right? And it morphed and changed over time. So I think it is a pointless task to go through and figure out what is white and what is black and then see which one you should adopt. I think we decide what we want to be, the end, and then we figure out what standards we need to get to that end, regardless of if it's white or black. I don't think something being white means that it's bad, or something being black means it's good. So that it's a white standard that we don't want to see someone on the ground with their hair being pulled and them walking like an animal. I hope that's not a white standard, but if it is, I don't mind adopting that.
But also, I think that people have to realize that certain groups of white people and Europeans, before they were considered white, before coming to North America, they also had to adhere to other white people's standards and cultural and societal norms, and they also had to assimilate in the North American construct and society. So I mean, obviously there are levels to this, but white people had to get on board as well. So it really is about I think finding something that you feel morally. So I'm not going to get into that's a conversation for another day, but I would agree with Themis. I just don't want people to think that, black people have to do what white people think is. White people have to do it too. So it's more about power and who came where, when, and as a result, obviously, if you're not first, you're last. If you weren't first and you got here afterwards, you got to do what everybody else was doing before you got there. That's just how it works.
Yeah, I have an interview with Ivy tomorrow, by the way, just putting that out there.
About the white standards thing, like, I know that some things are white standards, but like in terms of that photo, I think that plenty of people across the world would agree that like they didn't like that photo. I don't think that that's a white thing, like specifically about that photo. But I know that some things are white standards, but I don't think that that is a white standard. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't care about a white standard after I saw black men running defense for pearly things last week, right after she made comments about how slaves used to love their master and defend their master. I don't care about a white standard. Y'all not about to pretend like that matters in the community. Well, I think it matters. I don't think it applies to this.
To the people calling the disrespectful respectability politics, which culture had a custom of walking other people like dogs as a sign of respect and positivity? I know of none. I want us to stop being disingenuous.
Well, in Africa,
I feel like this is how we should end because I completely agree. Thank you, Brad.
About knee mobility. If you are having a lot of problems with your knees, because it's not just like, oh, I'm 30 and now my knees should hurt. Barring all extenuating circumstances, your knees should still be mobile. So make sure that you are doing some mobility exercises and some knee strengthening exercises. You can look them up. There are plenty online, but start now. Don't just say, oh, my knees, and just let them continue to decline, because you don't want to have to get like a knee replacement if you don't have to. So yeah, take care of your joints. There are plenty of information online. Strengthening and mobility exercises are very important, not just cardio and weightlifting. I'm just saying, you can't just say I give up on my knees because like, don't give up on them.
No, I'm
Why
not
do-
Don't forget
laughing at you.
magnesium supplements are really good for your joints and your muscles as well, guys. Since we're doing this.
Brown
Cynthia,
Barbie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But the reason why I'm laughing is this comment. Yeah.
knee mobility. I mean, mobility is very important. We have to. You can't. If you don't use it, you lose it, and then you end up thinking it's normal. Y'all better. Okay.
Good. I appreciate you because my knee it sound crooked. Like I walk and I hear crook, crook, I'm like, what
You're
is
at the squat
happening?
rack, like what? Oh no.
They're strong though. I can bench press. So my upper body is great. I'm not gonna tell you how much. And I'm good. I think I'm in good physical shape. All right.
Biglycinate, magnesium biglycinate. Listen, I wanted to thank everyone.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank everyone for their super chats. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for your engagement and your questions. And I don't know what Themis was talking about, but if I ever miss a question moving forward, don't make a stream about me. What is wrong with you? What is
You didn't
wrong
miss
with
it.
you?
No, girl. You did not miss it. You dragged.
Themis, can you please tell us in the back, like after which one you're talking about?
Yeah.
After.
It wasn't a drag. You politely corrected her and then tell her to slap herself. So, bye everyone.
Take care of your knees and all your joints.
Don't forget to like the video.